I'm from Minnesota, but I used to date a douchebag who said y'all all the time. If he didn't have such a nice dick, I wouldn't have stayed with him for so long. So my name is Melinda Hain, and my story is called, I think I wrote down, Hello Boston from Fargo. I'm actually moving to Boston in 3 weeks. Holy shit! Okay, I'm moving to Boston. I'm working for Curry College in their housing and residential life program, okay? So a couple weeks ago, I went to Boston. I flew there and I was like, this is fantastic. I met this wonderful woman on my train ride, though she's a different story for a different time. She's fantastic. And so I was interviewing, has anybody here heard of a place called Brandeis University? Okay, weird, I had never heard of them. But I interviewed for them, okay? And then the same day I was flying to Boston to interview for Brandeis, Curry called me and was like, hey, since you're gonna be in town, you wanna, interview with us? And I was like, yes, I will do that. And so I did, right? And I went from Brandeis down to Curry and I did my interview the next day. And, we've got this accent here, and I generally hide it from people because it's not that I'm ashamed, it's just that it's really distracting to a lot of people that aren't used to it. So I'm in Boston, and I'm distracted by the Boston accent, right? And I'm like, yes, please say more things about it. Please just say more stuff. I don't care what you're gonna say, just say more, okay? Right? And then I am taking a tour through a residence hall, dorms to anybody that doesn't know the politically correct term for us in housing and residential life. And I'm going with the associate director of this department, right? And I'm going through this place and he shows me the apartment that I would potentially be living in because I have to live on campus. No more alcohol for this girl. Just kidding, that's a lie. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I'm about to go on the rest of my tour, and this girl comes running up to me because she saw the associate director. Obviously, she's worked there for a while as a student, and she's like, and so she knows who I am. I'm interviewing for this new open position, right? And she goes, oh my God. I was like, hey girl, what's up? And she goes, are you Melinda? And I was like, yeah, I'm Melinda, who are you? And she goes, I heard you're from Fargo. I was like, yeah, girl, I've lived there for 6 years. How about you? And she goes, well, I've lived here for my whole life. And I was like, oh, well, shit. And she goes, I just want you to know that I love the show Fargo. And I was like, girl, I was like, Fargo, the show Fargo, though Martin Freeman, I would have his babies. Fargo, the show is not Fargo, the real Fargo. Fargo is way better, right? And she's like, okay. And, I'm just chatting with her, trying to be hey, you guys give me a job because I really need one. I lost my debit card. It's fine. Don't worry for me. No, it's right there. It's on the floor. Don't worry about me, girl. And, so we're chit-chatting, right? And then she just stops me and she's like, why don't you have an accent? And I was like, what do you mean, why don't I have an accent? And she goes, you don't have the accent from the show. She was so offended. And I was like, well, I've been hiding it. Hey boy, what's going on?
You said you know.
Yeah. So she's like, I just don't understand. Why don't you have it? And I was like, well, you guys all have this boss. It's stuck. It's there forever. Shut your mouth. And so I was like, well, just to be honest, I'm hiding it from you. I'm distracted by your accent. Y'all are distracted by mine. I just am distracted by mine. And I was like, so I'm just hiding it. She goes, She just looked at me like these really big puppy dog eyes. And I was like, I'm sorry? And she goes, I was just really hoping. And I was like, well, you know. I will tell you that I'm a Minnesotan with a boat. And in the next couple weeks, I will be getting a Minnesota Nice tattoo. I did. It's back here. Megan Felix at Old Town. That's in St. Cloud. No Coast. She did an excellent job on my Minnesota Nice tattoo. I go, I am a Minnesotan with a boat. And, just last week, I was making sure that I brought some bars and juice right on over to the Lutheran church. And Betty Lou, she brought her famous tater tot hot dish. You betcha, let's have some lefse. And she goes, and she looks at me, and that Santa commercial, this like Santa Claus and the M&Ms, and and they're talking to each other like, oh, he does exist, oh, they do exist. She looks at me and she goes, oh my God, it does exist. I was like, you tell your superiors that I should get a goddamn job here, girl. And so y'all know I've got a job there, and I am moving there in 3 weeks. Home sweet home. I will take Fargo with me wherever I go.